Seminole Street, right off the lake. He's within walking distance of the lake. His yard kind of resembles Sanford and Son. Kind of looks like a junkyard. Isn't that a nightmare in your neighborhood? The guy with just the bad paint scheme. The guy that parks, the school bus or Mardi Gras float in the side yard for the year. The dually truck. The guy with ladders and stickers on the vehicle. Drew Brees is right. This is New Orleans. Leave it at the work site. Don't bring it into the neighborhood. Come on. Corey Johnson back at you. Yeah, you right. Yeah, that guy on Seminole Street has some cuss or curse words on signage, too. He gets very political. Not kid or geriatric friendly, I would say. Why shock the grandparents? Why shock the children? Stay away from the Sanford and Son site on Seminole Street, about a half block off the lake. It's scary. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Yeah, you right. 24-4 is scary. Glad LSU got that last run. Kept it from being the butt of jokes with some football reference. 24-3. In case you haven't been paying attention, and for some of you, chances are you haven't been. It's not like something everybody needs to follow. But for a lot of folks, LSU last night could have won the national championship with a victory. Instead, Florida gets things rolling. LSU leading 3-1. 24-4, the final. 24-4. The national title series has come down to just one game. Forget the series. It's one game, national championship game, singular. It's tonight. First pitch, exactly 2 hours from right now. 4:07 p.m. First pitch, 6:07 p.m. Omaha, Nebraska, College World Series. I love the men's reference. We're so politically correct. I'm pretty sure the Women's World Series is softball. But I guess if you're going to reference one, you have to reference the other or whatever. Anyway, the College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska, a little after 6, 6:07 first pitch, ESPN, LSU, Florida, and all SECer for the national title, the national championship. Thatcher Hurd, the righty, will start for LSU. Maybe Skeens in relief for the first time ever in an LSU uniform, at least. Would we see something like that? I'm drinking a lot of agua. There was a heat advisory today, but like the one about a week ago, we dodged the bullet. Lots of cloud cover rolling in, even a little sprinkle in some spots. And that just knocks that heat advisory thing back like 15, 20, 25 degrees. Knocks it clear out of heat advisory to, wow, kind of a pleasant afternoon out there. Anyway, we're expecting some severe heat all week long, like crazy heat. Feels like $110 plus. Could reach 100 degrees on that old thermometer thing. I mean, we definitely have a lot of heat and humidity in New Orleans, but we're not like, temperature-wise at least, not like, west of us down the I-10 in West Texas or in New Mexico or Arizona, parts of California, desert-like conditions. Very dry, 10% humidity, but temps that often exceed 100. Las Vegas, we rarely get to 100. Rarely. It's not an annual thing. It's not a once-a-decade thing. It's a few times a lifetime thing in New Orleans where we get to 100. We might hit that temperature this week, according to the meteorologists. We'll see. It's definitely summertime. As I was saying, drinking a lot of water. Stay hydrated. It's crazy hot out there. High humidity. If you're doing stuff outside, no matter what it is, playing tennis, playing golf, hunting, fishing, landscaping, roofing, whatever you're doing, construction, lots of fluids. Most of you folks that do all that stuff a lot know lots of fluids. No, there are people that have strokes on the tennis court, landscaping, roofing. Got to be careful. As they say in the hood, you don't want to stroke out. You don't want to stroke out. They cut him open, and that's when the cancer came. Oh, boy. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. The Orleans Parish Communications District Director, Tyrell Morris, resigns today. Lots of rumors swirling around why he resigned. We'll talk a little bit more about that. That's one of LaToya the Destroyer Cantrell's flunkies. Got a really good guest coming up in 10 minutes. You want to stick around for this. Eric Hessler's going to join us, the attorney for PANO, the union for the NOPD, straight shooter. At least I think so. Tells it like it is, pretty frank, cut and dry, to the point. Attorney Eric Hessler is going to join us in less than 10 minutes, the lawyer for PANO. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. The chief search. I'm going to ask him basic stuff like how many NOPD officers are there? Can the NOPD do anything to convince hyper woke judges and magistrates to issue proper or appropriate bail, consent decree, dwindling numbers on the force, how to stop it? The PIB investigation in Navapi was a joke, and a lot more. How does the consent decree restrict, handcuff the NOPD? Eric Kessler, attorney for PANO, a few minutes away. Hey, I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. 50 big bucks at the city's premier day spa. 5 area Woodhouse Day Spas now. Mandeville opened up a few months ago. East Causeway Approach, about 90 seconds from Trey Yen, 90 seconds from the foot of the causeway, directly across the street from the Mandeville City Hall. East Causeway Approach. Yeah, Mandeville Woodhouse Day Spa. Joining the Slidell Woodhouse. Yeah, 2 North Shore locations. And, of course, 2 on the South Shore, the flagship Canal Street, Carrollton, Mid-City, New Orleans. So plush, so nice. Metairie near North Kenner, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. They're in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. Largest margin of victory in College World Series history. Largest margin of victory in College World Series history. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 766-9480. 766-9480. Most hits in a College World Series championship by a single player. Most hits in one game in a college championship. 766-9480. Most errors in a College World Series championship game. Most errors. 766-9480. Speaking of an error, I'm going to attribute it as an error. But this Rocco's shot contest, the latest and greatest. First, you had the owner of Raising Cane's, who's just, it's an incredible story. 30 years ago, his first Cane's. Now he's got over 600. It's privately owned. The Graves guy in Baton Rouge, he bought thousands of dollars in shots. Then that Gordon, the G guy, the attorney on the I-10, he bought $20,000, $30,000 in shots. All of them mentioning charity. And some of it goes to charity. I just mentioned this the other day. I just think Rocco should say portions of the proceeds go to charity. But they make it like it all goes to charity. I think that's the impression most people have. Maybe I'm being a stickler because I'm in radio and television. I know how marketing works. I know how perception works. But when you say proceeds benefit the food bank, I think people feel I'm buying the shots and all the extra money outside of the shot goes to the food bank. It's about $1.50 to the food bank, and it's about $3 to Rocco's. So the business makes more than twice what the food banks get. I think that should just be known. That's all. I caught a little crap for mentioning that on social media. I don't care. Corey Johnson with you, coming right back with Eric Hessler.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday afternoon. Some crazy heat could be hitting the city this week. Heat advisory, insane temps like approaching 100 on the thermometer, approaching 110, 112, 115 feels like dangerous heat, like folks that don't have air conditioning need to go somewhere during the day type of heat. Dangerous where lives could be in jeopardy, especially vulnerable folks, folks with health conditions, elderly. If you know people like this is the time of year to check on them. You know, it's like when we have some crazy cold snap and it gets below freezing for more than a day, or when we get this kind of crazy stuff. No, especially if they don't have air conditioning, which surprisingly, a lot of folks don't. Not everybody can afford air conditioning. Not everybody has that luxury. You know, I don't know what it is about life. Sometimes we there's just so many levels to it. We get caught up in trying to be something and impress people and fit in with people. And then you see people that are, you know, needy and less fortunate and obviously struggling and all that. And you're like, what does all the other nonsense mean? You know, no, reach out and help people. That's the most important thing. All the other stuff doesn't matter. Reach out and help people right now when it's dangerously hot and lives are at stake. Now, we got a reprieve today. We had a heat advisory like 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago. And then all of a sudden we had that threat of rain like all day that hit Mississippi pretty good, never hit us. So it kind of nullified the heat advisory. We got cloud cover. We got a breeze. We had lower temperatures, the opposite. Sort of the same thing happening today. I mean, earlier today when, you know, at 4 a.m., it's 84 degrees, okay, at 4 a.m. And then at like 11 a.m., it's 79 degrees because, you know, there's clouds and wind. Right now, about 92 degrees, partly cloudy. Feels like 100. But below where we're going to be, the high temperatures tomorrow and through the weekend. The high temps tomorrow and through the weekend, 97 and 98 degrees on the thermometer in New Orleans, which means north of the city, outside of the city, temperatures could exceed 100 with feel-like temperatures in the 110, 112, 115 degree range. So, yeah, lots of agua, lots of water. I know Eric Kessler, the attorney for Pano, is going to join us in a few minutes. He'll be dialing us up as soon as he gets out of court, which really should have ended before our segment. But as things go, you know, 9 out of 10 times he'd already be with us. 1 out of 10, that trial or whatever he's dealing with, you know, kind of goes a little long. I think that's what we're dealing with right now. But we'll be joined by Pano attorney Eric Kessler in just a few minutes. Hey, a good time for you to get involved in the program. Hey, when I throw out a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa trivia question with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate on the line, simple rules are no intranet device, no search engines, no DuckDuckGo or Google or Bing or Yahoo, none of that. You either know the answer or you don't. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. I mean, I want to hear from someone that knows the answer naturally because they usually can contribute something to the answer. We learned something. They lived it. Their parents lived it. So-and-so was a part of it that they knew. They grew up near there, whatever. I can go online and read the wiki page. You know what I mean? So I like folks answering the question that naturally know it. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse available. I think I've got a couple of holdover questions from last week's trivia, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. For over 50 years, 51 years, a New Orleans iconic structure recently renamed. Could it have something to do with the Confederate monuments or not? been providing information, been providing news to New Orleans for over 185 years. In the mid-1880s, it was considered the largest building in the world. So I've got those holdover questions, that trio. And I've also got largest margin of victory in a college World Series game in history. Most hits in a college World Series game in history. Which player, single player, most hits in a game? Or can't name the player, how many hits? Most errors in a college World Series game. If you've got answers to any of these questions, I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at any of the 4 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. WoodhouseSpas.com to book a day of relaxation for you, for her. Guys, it's what she wants. An unexpected gift, a gift for no reason, is a home run. You know what she wants? A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. There's one near you. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate in our trivia question challenge. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. 93.9 FM. New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. Weekday afternoons, 4 to 6 on the radio, 2 big hours. 93.9 FM, 107.9 FM. 600 AM is a sneaky little powerful AM signal. They're carrying the program from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida. CoreyTalks.com, live streaming, smartphone, tablet, pad, computer, whatever. Live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. Hey, we're on YouTube right now. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground, in that little search bar on YouTube, the little magnifying glass. Search Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground. Corey spelled K-A-A-R-E. K-double-A-R-E. Yeah, we're on YouTube. Yeah, you right. Apparently, I said a few moments ago, the rumors, there are lots of rumors surrounding Tyrell Morris resigning as OPCD director. So that would kind of insinuate his wife took another job in Baltimore and they're going back home or something. It doesn't imply that. It implies something, lots of rumors were going around. Now it's being reported that Tyrell Morris crashed his city-owned vehicle a few months back, pulled strings to avoid taking the breathalyzer test. Just a scam. No, and now that is becoming known, and he's getting the hell out of Dodge and resigning. Now, if you remember the OPCD, that's the Orleans Parish Communications District, this guy Tyrell Morris. The Office of Inspector General requested information from the OPCD, just basic info. Daily records, how you spend your money, who gets paid, what they get paid for, your priorities, how you do everything every day, just basic vanilla stuff. Tyrell Morris and the OPCD refused to turn over the information. The Inspector General by law, is entitled to this information, no questions asked. There's no argument by anyone rational or reasonable. It's the whole point of the Office of Inspector General, to investigate, to audit, to look into city entities to make sure they're being run efficiently, effectively, taxpayer dollars being spent properly. So just requesting documents, information from the OPCD, Tyrell Morris refuses to turn it over. Have to subpoena, indict. Finally, by law, like a judge has to step in Turn over the information. Just a waste of the Office of Inspector General's time. Tyrell Morris in the Office of what is it? I know it's Communications District. I guess it's the Orleans Parish Communications District. I was thinking the Peace stand for something else. The Orleans Parish Communications District. They sue to not have to give the information that the city's entitled to, that the Office of Inspector General is entitled to. They lose. They appeal the ruling, taking it to a higher court. They lose again. Cost the Office of Inspector General $50,000 in totally unnecessary attorney fees, and however much it cost the Orleans Parish Communications District in attorney's fees. Because this guy wouldn't follow the law and do what he's supposed to do. And where's the council and the mayor saying, turn over the information that they're requesting? You legally have to. So now Tyrell Morris resigning. Eric Kessler, attorney for Pano, is going to join us on the program. Corey Johnson with you. Young's Dry Cleaning. Tired of your dry cleaner? You simply want to experience the best. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Free pickup and delivery, manless lockers. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Young'sDryCleaning.com.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 airy locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. I'm just telling you the truth. Eric Kessler scheduled to join us, but he said, Corey, I've got a trial. Chances are I won't be late. I'll be there for 4:20, but it could go late. And it's apparently going late. And I don't know. We'll keep Eric Kessler. Hopefully he'll call us in a few minutes and we'll go till at least 5 o'clock and maybe see if he can hang a little into the 5 o'clock power hour coming your way in only about 25 minutes. Coming your way in an hour and a half. Literally 90 minutes from the first pitch, LSU, Florida. It's not a series. That best of three is knotted up at 1 apiece, so it's down to 1 game. This is it. The national championship game is tonight. The national title on the line. Winner takes all. The loser is the runner-up, number 2 in the land. 6 o'clock when ESPN cranks up their programming. 6:07 first pitch. LSU, Florida, the all-SEC national title game. Skeens in relief, maybe. I don't know. They've never pitched him in relief. Do they do it tonight? It's the final game. 3.5 days, 4 days rest. He's got 6 days rest all season long. I guess played the other day on 4 days rest. Thatcher Hurd will start tonight for LSU. Right-hander Thatcher Hurd will start tonight for LSU in less than 90 minutes. 6:07 first pitch, ESPN, Omaha. Yeah, you right. LSU got thrashed last night, 24-4. I know you flush it and you move on. I get that. I get it. You know, not everybody can play defensive back. You get burned for a score, and then you come right back and forget about it and bat down a pass. Some folks get burned for a score. They're torched mentally. That means they're torched physically, and they're done. It's a hard position to play. You're like a man on an island. Baseball's a team sport. I get it. But 24-4 is a beatdown. That's just nothing going right. That's just hard to imagine. But it is baseball and a bunch of quirky players with superstitions and, you know, hey, the 1 out of 100, the 1 out of 1,000 happened to us. They were clicking on all cylinders for, you know, after the third inning, and the opposite for us. So when you get a team that's rolling, that's going to score and hit and play well, if the other team's playing well, and then you have the other team not playing well, it's only going to exacerbate the thing into like a 24-4 final. 24-4. You know, I would clearly have to objectively, fairly say Florida's the favorite to win the national title, right? They've got a lot of big bats. All their big bats are now hot. They went cold. They heated up last game. Are they going to go cold again totally, or remain hot, or at least viable? I would say at least viable before just going cold again, right? Chances are. And then the first game was 11 innings. The first game, LSU should have won by 6 runs, stranding so many runners on base. It was obnoxious. Couldn't get any runs across in that first game. It was sinful that it was that close. LSU almost lost that game in the top of the 9th. Miraculous catch in left field, jumping back, catching it at the outstretched glove. Goes 2 more inches, it's a hit, and the game's over. Game 1, Florida Gators. Then they get hot, and they probably win it all in 2. So game 1 was barely an LSU win. Should have been a huge LSU win, but Florida hung in there and almost won it. LSU barely won game 1, extra innings. Second game in a row, extra innings. Then they get beat 24-4. No, I would have to think the pretty clear favorite tonight is Florida. Will Thatcher Hurd be he's going to start tonight. Can he go 5-6 innings of solid pitching? Not give up very much, if anything at all, over 5 or 6 innings? And then will Skeens come in? No, yesterday was like a continuation of 2 days ago, just leaving so many, or 3 days ago, leaving so many players on base. GQ sending us an email, Corey@CoreyTalks.com, our website. Email us, Corey, K-A-A-R-E, Corey@CoreyTalks.com. LSU left 9 on in the first 3 innings yesterday. It's true. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. On a Monday afternoon, a trio of Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Actually, Dos Trios. Boy, I found another trivia question I didn't even ask last week, Jason. I must have skipped it. Why Lake Forest in New Orleans East? Why is it called Lake Forest in New Orleans East? The Lake Forest Plaza, Lake Forest neighborhood, Lake Forest Boulevard. Why is it Lake Forest in New Orleans East? There's a specific reason. Give me the answer. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Hey, no intranet device. You either know the answer or you don't. No search engines, none of that. It's in your head or that's it. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Why Lake Forest in New Orleans East? For 51 years, an iconic New Orleans structure, a gigantic New Orleans structure, recently renamed. Give me the answer. 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Been providing information to New Orleanians, news, information for over 185 years. Give me the answer. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse is yours. 766-9480 to participate. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. In the mid-1880s, it was considered the largest building in the world. In the mid-1880s. Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa is yours. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. Largest margin of victory in a College World Series game. Largest margin of victory in a College World Series game. Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse is yours. 766-9480. Most hits in a College World Series championship game by a single player. Most hits in a College World Series game by a single player. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. most errors in a college World Series championship game. 766-9480. You got answers? I got 50 big bucks at the city's premier day spa. 5 area locations. WoodhouseSpas.com. WoodhouseSpas.com. Yeah, national title game. Thatcher Hurd to start for LSU in about an hour and 20 minutes. It's one game. The best of 3 series knotted up at 1 apiece. This is it. A championship game. The national title game is tonight. Final game of the college baseball season. Winner, national champs. Loser, runner-ups. Simple as that. 6:07 first pitch. Tyrell Morris apparently smashing his city-owned vehicle, wrecking it, and then avoiding the DWI test, pulling strings, resigns today as the director of the Orleans Parish Communications District. And by the way, that audit that was finally done after not 1, but 2 appeals by Tyrell Morris of the OPCD to not give over information to the Office of Inspector General that he was obligated to give over. No, that report by the OIG, not very flattering on the Orleans Parish Communications District. We're hoping to hook up with Eric Kessler, attorney for PANO, the union of the NOPD. Talk to him about this, talk to him about the VAPI investigation, all kind of stuff. The chief search. You know, a lot of folks elected instead of appointed, anointed. It is a yellow legal sheet with a line down the middle, pros and cons. Everybody thinks elected such a great thing. Well, elected, I can think of 2 negatives right off the bat with elected, right away. You're electing a policeman/politician. A lot of police chiefs, they don't want to be politicians. They don't want to be politicians at all. They're strictly policemen. That's it. Some can do both, but you arguably limit the pool in a way. And second, you don't arguably limit the pool. You do limit the pool. Elected only, got to live in Orleans Parish, only an Orleans Parish resident. That would be a harsh limitation. Don't move.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer. The most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Why Lake Forest in New Orleans East? You got the answer to that? I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. For over 50 years, 51 years, a New Orleans iconic structure, huge structure, recently renamed. They've been providing you with information in the city for over 185 years, news for over 185 years. In the mid-1880s, it was considered the largest building in the world. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. You got answers? I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Largest margin of victory in a College World Series championship game in the history of the College World Series. Largest margin of victory in a single game. Most hits in a College World Series championship game by one player. Most errors in a College World Series championship game. Give me the answer to any of those questions. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa is yours. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate, 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. LSU in Florida, about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 13 minutes away. ESPN, the national championship game. Singular. The series is knotted up at 1 each. When it's a best of 3, you can toss it out, start from scratch. This is it. Winner take all, one game. Winner national champs, loser runner up. It's a lot of games LSU has played the last week or so, huh? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then they play off on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's 7 games in 8 days. It's a lot of baseball. Florida coming out of the winner's bracket a little less, couple of less games. The way the first game was tight, 1-2 runs basically, down to extra innings, right down to the end, 11 innings. LSU slipping by Florida. The Gators almost winning that game. A miraculous catch out and left helped the Tigers. And then 24-4, Florida all over LSU. Their bats wake up after a College World Series slumber where they still stayed in the winner's bracket, still made it to the national title game. All things point to Florida winning the national championship. But then does Skeens come in relief? Thatcher Hurd to start. Will we see Skeens? This is where I think Fletcher Mackel made a great point. I'm seeing a lot of folks jumping on it on social media. I always thought kind of the same thing, but I don't know, a different way to skin the cat. My thought was extend the College World Series to where it falls on July 4th. I mean, isn't it a perfect match for next week? The College World Series to be the national championship? You still have the regional. You still have the super regional. Those would be at school sites. LSU hosting a regional. LSU hosting the super regional. Then it's on to Omaha. You would still go on to Omaha, but it would be those 8 teams in Omaha, something not called the World Series. Super duper regional, the Omaha super duper, where the 8 teams play one weekend to get down to 4 or to get down to 2. Then the next weekend, the 4th of July weekend, you have a championship series or a Final Four where you whittle it down to, just losers are out, winners play for the title, that kind of thing. No 3-game series, just whatever. You spread it out one more week. You don't want to hurt Omaha, so they can have the second to last weekend and the final weekend just like they have right now. But there aren't midweek games. There's a bunch of games on that weekend before, and then there's the national title series with either 4 or 2 teams over the 4th of July weekend. And then you get all the players rested. You get the best pitchers. Skeens is guaranteed to play in the regional, the super regional, in the super duper, and in the College World Series instead of maybe not pitching in the championship series. It's insane. Best pitcher in baseball, maybe the first, second player picked in the Major League Baseball draft. His team makes the championship, best 2 out of 3, and he pitched too soon, too short of a time ago, and isn't ready to play in any of the 2, potentially 3 games for the national title. Just seems insane. Makes it a different game. Instead of best 3 pitchers, it isn't that. It's going into others, especially if you come out of the losers bracket. And that's fine. That's what the game is in Omaha right now. It's like overtime in college football. It ceases being a football game per se. It becomes this inside the 25, game. Teams that maybe are a better red, zone team. Teams that maybe have a better field goal kicking game or not. I mean, there's certain advantages for certain teams in overtime compared to other teams because of the format of overtime. It benefits certain things and takes away strengths of other things because it's not real football. You start at the 25. It's different. And I don't see a lot of folks complaining about it. It's exciting. You got to go for 2 after 3 overtimes, whatever the rule is, or 2. I get it. But it isn't kicking off, starting over again, sudden death, a full 15 minutes. What's that, Blue Boy? 5 o'clock power hour next. Thank you, buddy. Stick around, New Orleans.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 5 p.m.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
That's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Susan Spicer joining us on the program.
Even when they presented me the award, the people that I look up to the most, Frank was there and Donald Link was there. It does cause you to reflect back and think about your whole career.
Maybe the Sella Brennan Award says that to you, like I've arrived.
It certainly is kind of the ultimate honor when it comes to cooking and hospitality in New Orleans and the world.
New Orleans style talk gumbo, served daily.
Doesn't get much better than that, huh?
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this.
I don't know about you. I don't know if I'm getting on a boat with the skipper and Gilligan. There's a lot of confidence. The professor, I would have got on the boat if, like, the professor was the captain.
Weather started getting rough. The tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost.
Wow.
The minnow would be
Gilligan's
lost.
Island next. It's not Gilligan's Island. It is New Orleans. Wait, they're telling me New Orleans is kind of like Gilligan's Island. Wow. The Isle of Orleans. Like Gilligan's Island, dysfunctional like that? Back in time, second world, really? Maybe they're onto something. Hey, it's a Monday afternoon edition of the program. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you, 5 o'clock power hour. We're only at about 90. Only feels like around 100. I know you're joking, right, Corey? Supposed to be like 97, 98, feels like 108, 110. Tomorrow, through the weekend, the high temperature in New Orleans Metro, 97, 98 degrees every day, starting tomorrow through Sunday. High temp, 97, 98 degrees. We could hit 100 in some parts of the Metro, even higher. That's on the thermometer. The feels like temperature, supposed to be like 110, 112, maybe as high as 115 this week. Today we got a reprieve, clouds rolled in. Some parts of the day were like 78, 80, 82 degrees because of the cloud cover, the breeze. So we are 2-0 on heat advisories as far as missing them. We had a heat advisory, 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago? Same thing, a threat of rain that really never happened came in, brought in clouds, that breeze, lower temperatures. Anyway, all I can say is lots of agua, lots of water. Because for the next 6-7 days, 97, 98 degrees, the high. And then next week, a week from now, we'll be back to our normal summer stuff like 93, 94 is the high. But significantly hotter. And we might even slip into the 100 plus on the thermometer this week in New Orleans. But 97 and 98 high temp every day through Sunday, with feels like temperatures anywhere between 108, 110, 112, as high as 115. Lots of water. Stay hydrated. People you know that have health conditions, elderly, that aren't living in air conditioning or have inadequate air conditioning, having to deal with the heat and humidity. Check on them. Get them somewhere where it's cool during the day. Could be a shopping mall. Could be the food court at a shopping mall. Go get lunch. Sit a few hours. Grab a bench in the mall. Just relax. Knock out some shopping. Can't do that? Just get in some AC. Community center in the neighborhood, gymnasium, especially from about 9 a.m. till about 5 o'clock. About from like a work day, almost like a work day. 9 to 5, get to the community center, get to the local library, get to the gymnasium, get to the shopping mall, get somewhere where there's air conditioning. Go knock out errands where you can get in air conditioning for a little while because it's going to be brutally hot. Check on people that are vulnerable. Pretty simple stuff. We're hoping to hook up with Eric Kessler, attorney for PANO, the union for the NOPD. He's wrapping up a court date as we speak in trial. So when that ends, hopefully he'll be ringing us up and we can knock out a slew of questions, including the latest and greatest. OPCD director, that's the Orleans Parish Communications District, Tyrell Morris resigns. Reportedly slammed his city-owned vehicle into another vehicle, got into an accident, pulled strings to avoid any tickets or DWI tests or any of that, when that's the law. City employees wrecking a city vehicle. You damn right you're taking a drug test and an alcohol test. Are you kidding me? You're driving a taxpayer-financed vehicle and you wreck it? Are you if it's your own vehicle and you wreck it at night, especially under any kind of suspicious circumstances, Cedric Richmond, it's a DWI test. A city employee, a total no-brainer. How he avoided this, how he got out of this. Well, now it's all being exposed, and I'm sure that's leading to Tyrell Morris's resignation today as director of the Orleans Parish Communications District. This is the same guy that, when required by law to turn over information requested by the Office of Inspector General, he didn't do it. Office of Inspector General had to take him to court. He loses. He appeals, loses the appeal, appeals to a higher court, costs the Office of Inspector General city taxpayer money, $50,000+ in attorney fees for this nonsense by not following the law. I just don't get these city entities. When the Office of Inspector General, New Orleans Office of Inspector General, comes a knocking, comes a calling, requesting information, and you don't give over the information, you don't turn it over. There's only a couple of reasons why. One, you don't have the information. So unorganized, just winging it, flying by the seat of your pants. Or the information you do have would be ridiculously telling and would make that city entity look bad, expose that city entity for what they really are. Inefficient, maybe corrupt, maybe criminal. At best, inefficient, not doing things right, unorganized, not spending taxpayer money right. At worst, stealing, theft, corruption, scheming, scamming. You know, we see the Sewage and Water Board and their problems when it rains. It physically rains. It physically floods. We see them. They're exposed. A lot of these city entities, you have to kind of dig deep, almost investigate. There is no rain that exposes them. But when that OPCD director doesn't want to give over the information, and then finally it is retrieved by the Office of Inspector General, their report, their investigation, their audit is completed. It's damning. It's damning. And now Tyrell Morris resigning. Now, there's a reason why New Orleans is inept, inefficient, broken. The citizens don't have much faith, if any at all, in city government. This kind of stuff happens over and over and over and over again. Different levels, all different kind of ways. It's just like the citizens are secondary and the city employees, the people that work for us, they're the priority over us. It's crazy. It's like when that RTA director was also running the Tampa Transit Authority. It's a one city, live in that city, full-time gig. Tampa finds out about it. They immediately fire the person. New Orleans finds out about it. They put that person on paid leave while they investigate. It's unbelievable. What do you have to investigate? Tampa didn't need to investigate. They got the info within 24, 48 hours, figured out the scam. That person's double dipping. They're fired. New Orleans, hey, we'll keep paying you while we investigate. Take a vacation. We'll keep paying you. There's some sewage and water board, a story breaking today. Employees stealing, faking their hours, not working, getting paid overtime, and them getting away with it, getting their back pay, getting their job, getting promoted. No, New Orleans is a broken metropolitan area, and we accept that. Louisiana, a broken state, and we accept that, just how it is. Other places don't. They don't accept it. Their tolerance level is much lower, and that's why their cities, states aren't as corrupt, inefficient, broken. It's simple. Hey, every day this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. Ronnie Lamarck, Araby Park, getting it done at the big store in Kenner. Lamarck Ford for nearly 50 years. Number one Ford dealership in the region. Lamarck Lincoln, also part of the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Number one Lincoln dealership in the state. Every day this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ola Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
I was in there with my mommy and my brother just yesterday, Lebanon's Cafe on Carrollton at Jeanette. I'm not kidding you. My mom's Syrian Lebanese, 100%. My grandmother, her mom's Situ, Arabic for grandmother. It's authentic. That's why I'm there so often. I picked up a to-go order last week for lunch, some chicken shawarma. Had lunch there yesterday. My mom got the 6 lamb chops with the little veggie, medley grilled veggies on the side, and then you still pick 2 Middle Eastern sides to go with it. I think she got hummus and cauliflower. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette. They're open till 9:30. You might be able to get there even after the LSU game if it goes a little quicker. Boy, those games lately have been like 3.5 hours. Lebanon's Cafe, open till 9:30 tonight. Hey, they're closed tomorrow. The only day of the week they're closed, Tuesday. Wednesday through Monday night, Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette. Be there. Yeah, get there tonight for dinner. Go pick up a to-go order. Bring something back to the house for the game. 862-6200. Easy to-go number to remember. Easy phone number to remember. 862-6200. Lebanon's Cafe. No, that dude talking about it's right. I was there yesterday with my mommy. LSU, Florida, the national title series has come down to just one game. This is it tonight. Final game of the college baseball season. No ifs, ands, or buts. The winner, national champs. The loser, runner-ups. LSU taking game 1 in extra innings, 11 innings, 5-3. A great heroic catch in left field, a leaping catch outstretched, saving the day. That goes over that glove. Florida wins game 1. So super tight. LSU should have won by a bunch more. Ty Floyd had a great pitching outing, better than Skeens. LSU had to get that win, but they barely got it. And Florida, their bats weren't hot at all, and they were still there. Yesterday, after cold bats all College World Series long, Florida's bats come to life, 24-4. They just crush LSU. I would think tonight those bats are going to still be warm. I don't think they're going to cold again. Maybe I'm wrong. Baseball's a fickle sport, all kind of gimmicks involved, superstitions with players. I get it. But I would think the Florida bats are probably at least going to be viable. You can't expect them to be, 0-for like they were before. I also don't think LSU is going to be contributing so many errors and leaving so many men stranded like they have. That's the great thing. It's like going to the casino. You lose 5-6 times in a row. You're probably due to win. You're not hitting well, it's going to come around. You're not pitching well, it's going to come around. I think shortstop Thompson for the Tigers, probably going to have a great game. He's like 1 for 21 hitting in Omaha, like 1 for 21. Had a couple of errors the other night. Probably come back and have one of his best games tonight, I would think. I would think Florida's got the edge. I would give Florida the edge. Barely losing game 1, barely in extra innings. Close to winning it. That close. And then dominating game 2. How can you give LSU the edge? Thatcher Hurd starting for LSU, the right-handed pitcher. There's talk that Skeens could come in relief. We'll see. First pitch, about 45 minutes away. 6:07 on ESPN, nationwide television audience. Winner take all SEC, LSU, Florida for the national title. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Hey, I've got a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. A little trivia. 5 area Woodhouse Day Spas, 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore, Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. You can find them online, woodhousespas.com. Hey, no intranet device, no search engines. You either know the answer in your head or you don't. Don't cheat. Why Lake Forest in New Orleans East? Why Lake Forest? Why that name? Street, neighborhood, Lake Forest Plaza. Why Lake Forest? Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. For over 50 years, 51 years to be exact, an iconic New Orleans structure, huge, recently renamed. Give me the answer. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse can be yours. $50. 766-9480. 766-9480. They've been providing New Orleanians with information since, 1837, 185 plus years. Providing us with news for over 185 years. 766-9480. In the mid-1880s, it was considered the largest building in the world. 766-9480. Largest margin of victory in a single College World Series championship game. 766-9480. Most hits in a College World Series championship game by a single player. 766-9480. Most errors in a College World Series championship game. 766-9480. You got answers to any of these questions? I got 50 big bucks for you at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 766-9480. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Crazy heat. They're talking about, this is tomorrow, every day this week, Saturday, Sunday, the next 6 days, next 6-7 days, high temperature every day, 97, 98 degrees. Feels like 108, 110, 112, some saying as high as 115. Just a heat wave, heat advisory. It was supposed to start today, but some cloud cover gave us a reprieve, but we're still hitting 90 plus, still feels like 100. And today was a pass. I don't know how many more days we'll have like that, but very dangerous temperatures, heat, feels like temperatures, all that coming up this week, all the way through the weekend. So anyone you know who's vulnerable, health issues, elderly, does not have air conditioning. Does not have air conditioning. Help them out. Get them in air conditioning, especially the middle of the day, from like 9, 10 a.m. to like 4 or 5 p.m., like mid to late morning, midday, mid-afternoon, going into late afternoon, got to be in air conditioning. Could be the community center, a gym, a public library, a shopping mall, a store. Got to get folks in air conditioning that are vulnerable. You know, there are a lot of people that live in homes in Metro New Orleans with absolutely no air conditioning. So if you know somebody that's vulnerable with this crazy heat, no, step up and help them out, because it's dangerous. This is like going below freezing for a few days at a time. When the high temperature from meteorologists, the prediction all week long, every day, 97, 98. Some parts of the metro will hit 100 or 100 plus on the thermometer and feels like from 108 to 115. No, it's flat out dangerous where people can die. So lots of agua, lots of H2O, and help people, assist folks. If you know of vulnerable folks, assist them. If you can't assist them, call 911. Notify people that can. Because in this kind of weather, no, it's beyond dangerous. Hey, TV audience, we'll see you tomorrow. Cox Channel 4, Spectrum 333. Mañana. Hey, radio audience. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. Thanks for finding us. Spread the word. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. We seamlessly continue till 6 p.m. CoreyTalks.com live streaming till 6 p.m. We're on YouTube. Go to YouTube. Go to the search bar. Put in Corey Johnson, K-A-A-R-E. Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Doesn't cost anything. It is hot out there, but a lot of folks are knocking out that summertime paint project, doing it at Helm Paint and Decorating. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, you do it right. You go to Helm. Boy, there's some scam artists out there. These so-called coating companies, revolutionary. It's not. It's elastomeric paint. It's been around for 50 years, a thick, rubberized paint. For very few applications, for 99% of homeowners, there's not a professional painter anywhere that would suggest these hyper-expensive, totally unnecessary elastomeric paints. It's not a coating. It's a paint. It's not revolutionary. It's been around 50 years. No one paints every other year. Paints don't chip, fade, like they used to. And then when you get into like a high quality Benjamin Moore type paint, you don't have to worry about ever painting again. Their 25-year warranty paint pretty much lasts a lifetime. You'll never have to paint again. And then the lifetime warranted paint is warranted for a lifetime. You literally will never paint again. Helm Paint and Decorating. Don't get ripped off. I feel bad for folks, especially folks, retired, taking a big chunk of their savings, spending 30, 40, 50,000 or more to paint their house. Really? Now, that's what these coating companies are. The world's most expensive home painting company, using a product 99% of professional painters would say you do not use. Go to the pros. That'll show you what to use, where you'll never paint your house again. Helm Paint and Decorating, 7 locations in Metro New Orleans, plus free 2-hour delivery anywhere in the Metro. Keep working. Pick your colors online. It's easy. I painted my house like about 9 months ago. My crew did. Went to Helm Earhart. Knocked out everything. Easy. Called them. Hey, my guys are on the way. They'll be picking everything up on the drive-thru. Great, Corey. It is where New Orleans talks. You're on the neutral ground. Corey Johnson with you. LSU, Florida, a little over 30 minutes away. 6:07. First pitch from Omaha. It's down to the final game of the college season. This is it. Winner take all. One game. National championship game. Singular. Winners, national champs. Loser, runner-up. LSU, Florida. Tigers got thrashed yesterday. I'm just curious how they mentally come back from that. I'm not saying they can't, but they got beat 24-4. That's got to be demoralizing in some way. You're not approaching tonight's game with 110% confidence like maybe you were 2 nights ago. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they flushed it, like they said. Flushed it. I don't know how you can. And the opposite. If you're Florida and you win 24-4, how can't you be confident that you can go in again and beat LSU just like you did. The bats that were cold for Florida are now red hot. I don't know if they stay red hot, but I doubt they go back to cold. So I think Florida will get some hits. LSU starting Thatcher Hurd tonight. There's talk that Skeens could come in relief, that he might be available for 30 to 45 pitches or so. Maybe 2 or 3 innings if he's got his stuff going and taking care of folks and, not getting bats stretched out a little bit. 30 to 45 pitches, maybe 2 or 3 innings. But Thatcher Hurd, the righty, to start. Skeens in relief. What a story that would be. That's where you do have a flawed College World Series format, where some of the best players on a certain team won't be able to play in the best of 3 championship series because they were used to get there. Have your regional, have your super regional. Keep them at the school sites. Then have a best of 8 in Omaha a week before the College World Series. Call it the Super Duper in Omaha. The Elite 8, call whatever you want. The Great 8, 8 is enough, Omaha 8, whatever. That's the weekend before. That would be this weekend. And you get those 8 teams down to either 4 or 2 teams. And then this upcoming weekend, which happens to be the 4th of July weekend, College World Series, America's Game, apple pie, dimples, Americana. 4th of July, that's when you have the College World Series, the championship, best 2 out of 3 with 2 teams, or have 4 teams playing down to get to a champion, whatever it is. I'm not saying rip off Omaha. They have 2 weeks right now, 9 days. It's all meshed together. It's 8 teams whittling down a championship series. Problem is, players like Skeens or other great pitchers may have been used to get you here. And then in the best of 3 championship series, 3 games, not 1, not 2, potentially 3 games. The best player in the country, number 1 draft choice potentially overall, your ace pitcher's not pitching at all in any of those 3 games, might sneak him in tonight in relief. There's just something fundamentally wrong, something flawed with that format. So keep the regional, keep the super regional. Have a 3rd weekend this weekend right now, some kind of super duper, where you whittle the 8 down to 4, and then another week later, resting the players, gap in between. Anyway, no, Fletcher made that point last week. It's all over social media. No, because Skeens is must see, and he's not playing in 1 game against Florida unless you can sneak him in relief. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Hey, guys, Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, your diamond headquarters. So many folks, diamond headquarters, diamond jewelers, diamond jewelry store. All I can tell you is Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, they've been at it for 50 years. Ken Friend, his family, Ken's been at it for over 40. He's passionate about what he does. He's at the store all the time. You can get a one-on-one appointment with him while they're open. He'll stick around before or after they're open, and you can have a one-on-one with Ken Friend when no one else is even around. One of the big benefits with Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, besides family-owned and operated, their reputation, highest quality, impeccable service, of course, real diamonds, natural diamonds, diamonds that are 1 billion years old, limited quantity, appreciate in value. Diamond stud earrings, diamond tennis bracelets, diamond necklaces. New Orleanians that know Friend and Company Fine Jewelers when it comes to engagement rings. Diamond engagement rings. So many jewelry stores, diamond stores, sadly, are peddling 3-week-old man-made diamonds, lab-created diamonds, diamonds from China. They're flooding the market. They're 3 weeks old. They're man-made. They're lab-created. Unlimited quantity. Depreciate in value. Essentially junk. Why would you get her, the love of your life, the most important person in your life, this lifetime purchase? Why would you get 3-week-old man-made lab-created diamonds? Get her real natural diamonds, 1 billion years old. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Like Ken Friend says, you got a friend in the jewelry business, Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
As New Orleans as the mighty Mississippi, Corey Johnson.
The old miss, the old man.
On 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Deep River, my home is over Jordan.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Hey guys, it's Frank Smith from LasVegasGambling.com with your weekend 5-star lock of the week. Lock of the week, lock of the week. Take the Lakers and the points over the Clippers. Sell the house, sell the boat, sell your children. Send grandma away and take the money. Put everything you've got on this 5-star selection. It's the Lakers over the Clippers. And we've also got a fantastic 5-star parlay as well. Call us now, 888-555-7777. It's Frank Smith, a.k.a. The Hammer, from LasVegasGambling.com. Do it now, now, now.
I recognize old Art Neville on that organ. Art was probably like 22 or something when this came out. That's what's so ridiculous. The talent of those cats. I still see George Porter in my neighborhood. He's still performing all the time. I think he's got a regular gig, maybe tomorrow night, Tuesday nights. Hell, it might even be tonight. I don't remember when it was. When is George Porter's regular gig? Jason, you want to hit Maple Leaf site? Check out that Maple Leaf site. I think it's, I want to say tomorrow it's not Rebirth, but it's some brass band, New Orleans brass band, something like that on Tuesdays. George Porter might be tonight. I think he's pretty much a regular at the Maple Leaf. It is tonight?
Early show and a late show.
Yeah, 2 shows. Well, like 7:15, 9:15, something like that. And then what's Tuesday? Like New Orleans Brass Band or something?
TBC Brass Band.
TBC? Nice. Yeah, Maple Leaf's great. That's my favorite music club in the city. It's just easy. It's simple. Oak Street, nice neighborhood. Hank's a good dude, the owner. You got Jack at Giacomo's next door, Frenchie the artist right there. It's like the Bermuda Triangle on Oak Street. You can get caught in that triangle. Frenchie's Gallery, Giacomo's Restaurant, Hank and the Maple Leaf. You may never come out of there. Anyway, little George Porter. LSU, Florida, first pitch, 18 minutes away. 6:07, 18 minutes, LSU, Florida. It's down to one game for the national championship. I would like to say all the momentum's with LSU, but I would think the momentum's with Florida. They barely lost game one. LSU barely won game one. LSU should have won game one running away. All those players stranded on base, but they needed extra innings, the 11th inning, to squeak by Florida. LSU made a miraculous catch out in left field, if you remember. Outstretched glove falling on his back. That's a hit. Florida wins game one. That's how close it was. The play at the plate, all of that. Hey, I'm not taking away from LSU. They won game one in 11 innings in a tight one. Game two, Florida destroyed LSU, 24-4. Florida's bats, which were ice cold, all College World Series. Florida went 3-0 to reach the championship round. All three wins were by one run, 3-2. They weren't crushing people. Now their bats are hot. I'm not saying they're going to remain as hot tonight as last night. I doubt they will. But I don't think they're going as cold as they were in the beginning of the World Series either. So probably somewhere in between, they're going to get some hits. They're going to score some runs. They'll probably hit a home run. So LSU's going to have to hit the ball and score some runs. But there's some players on LSU's team that are due. So tonight's going to be an interesting ball game. I would favor Florida in the game slightly. They've played less games. I mean, LSU has what? 6 games in the last 7 nights. This is the 8th game in 9 nights. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 6 in 8 days. So 7 in 9 days. Florida, 2 less games played. I'm not against LSU. I'm not saying LSU can't win. That's why you play the game. I would just give Florida a slight edge tonight. I hope I'm wrong. I hope LSU's bats get hot. I hope Thatcher Hurd has a great outing. If Skeens comes in relief, hopefully he gets the job done. First pitch, 6:07. Just a few minutes away. Hey, you can watch it on the TV at Fausto's if you want. Sit right at the bar. Fausto's on Vets. Watch LSU baseball and get served some of the best Sicilian and Italian. That's a great deal. Fettuccine Alfredo, pesce limone, maybe some veal piccata, veal saltimbocca. Some good pasta, some good appetizers, some garlic bread. Sit at the bar, some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian. Check out the Tigers right now at Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
New Orleans City Councilman Freddie King joins us.
So I want to first say thanks for having me. And believe it or not, man, I used to listen to your show all the time driving home. So it's an honor to be on.
Freddie, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on the program. Thanks.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store with 7 locations in Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Here at the NOLA Co, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safe, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
We had Gassan Corbin on the program last week from the Sewage and Water Board. We have to get him on again this week, Jason. Sewage and Water Board, payroll fraud, and a sex room. A sex room complete with naked photos on the wall. So you can, have some sex while on the clock at the Sewage and Water Board. Gives a whole new meaning to those trucks when I was a kid. These Sewage and Water Board trucks, I'm not making this up. They had these little 3-inch soft cushions on them where the crew could sleep. The crew could sleep in the truck. Often you'd see the truck pulled over and the crew napping in the truck. It was supposed to be that way. When I was a kid, I was like, I guess they knocked out their work and they're sleeping now. Thought it was so cool. I was like, I want a truck where I can sleep on it. The old Sewage and Water Board. Sewage and Water Board, payroll fraud in the sex room. Hey, the Louisiana Supreme Court doing the right thing. Wow, Louisiana's a third black. We have 6 House seats. Shouldn't 2 of the 6 be black, not 1 of 6? Yes. So hardcore Republicans who were trying to stop that, Louisiana Supreme Court overruling that. So 2 of 6 districts will have 2 majority black districts in Louisiana instead of just 1. Hey, it's hot out there. Stay hydrated. If you need air conditioning help, River City's Total Maintenance, NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know if you need air conditioning help. NOLAAC.com. What's that, Blue Boy? You like LSU tonight? Some home run balls. Nice. Enjoy the game. 7 minutes away. See you tomorrow.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.